like to welcome you to another episode of Movies on Jag. I don't have anything else to say. Get lost. Go on. Go. Leave. I don't have time for you today. I have important things to do. There's nothing for you here. I can't do this. I don't be here anymore. I hate this place. Man, why am I here? Klaatu, Verata, Nikto.
Where am I? What time is it? Oh crap, I'm gonna be late. Man, it's hot outside. It's October, why is it still hot outside? Oh, good. Gray finally took my idea to give us something to drink before the show.
Oh, sweet, you drank the poison.
Poison? Why?
So we can find out what the afterlife is like. Okay, so while Caleb is out, we'll discuss the movie of the week. We watched Flatliners. Flatliners is a American science fiction psychological horror film, directed by Niels Arden Oplev and written by Ben Ripley. The film is a remake of the 1990 film with the same name and stars Ellen Page, Diego Luna, Nina Brev, and James Norton, and Kiersey Clemens. It follows 5 medical students who attempt to conduct experiments that produce near-death experiences. Okay, so
Why? Why do you guys do this to me?
let's talk about Flatliners, and then you can tell me about the afterlife.
I wasn't a fan, to be honest.
I don't know. I didn't really know what to think of when I was going to see it, but yeah.
It wasn't. It was bad.
It wasn't bad.
Well,
I mean, it was like
it was acted
bearable.
well. It was acted
Yeah.
well, and it had pretty good direction for the most part. I just think the story wasn't that great, and I think Kiefer Sutherland was underutilized.
Yeah, I thought actually he was going to be brought into it in his role in the original, but
Yeah, because it turned out we got it wrong when we said it was a sequel. It was actually a remake, even though it was promoted as a sequel for a pretty long time, like up till it actually came out.
yeah.
I think it would have been better if it was a sequel, honestly, because then
I guess so.
they could have utilized his character, and Kiefer Sutherland could have been like the mentor who was like, "Oh, I've already done this," and
Don't
so
do this again, and then they still do it again.
yeah.
Or I thought he was gonna they were gonna tell him eventually, and then he was gonna be like, oh, go backstory when he did it, but that never happened.
Nope.
And then
Yeah, he was a completely different character in this film.
yeah,
I thought the sins, because the story basically follows the same as the original, where it's like, oh, they died, they have these sins, and so
it was not even like sins. It was just stuff that was like a guilty conscience, like what was haunting them, and
yeah.
what they couldn't get off their
And
mind.
honestly, it wasn't because of that, it wasn't as good as, say, it was kind of as bad as the original, because the original kind of did the same thing, where it was like these guilty conscience type things.
I mean, were the sins around the same?
They were about the same.
About the same.
Honestly, I don't think, like, because some of the characters, they didn't deserve a lot of it.
Well, I think
Because a lot of it was like accidents or stuff they couldn't really control.
the ones that were the worst were the, I guess, sins or whatever you would call
Were
them.
the ones that
were on
lived.
well, they were on the people's minds the worst.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Because, like, with Ellen Page, hers, I mean, the synopsis is out there. People know that her character, she becomes a doctor because her sister's dead.
Yeah.
So that's not a big spoiler.
like the first few minutes, they're all happy and smiling, and you just know somebody's gonna die. Like that always happens. When they're like super happy, it's not gonna last for long.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend the film unless you really don't like, unless you like jump scares. which they overutilized.
They had one good one.
Yeah, they
That
had
one was really
good one.
good, and then I went to the bathroom because I didn't like it.
Which one was it? Oh, yeah. You missed another good one, too, while you were there.
Okay, good.
There's another good one.
There's about probably 5, and then they have the creepy.
Because, like,
little-
you came back right as the other one had just finished when he got
and then
when he got the knife in his hand.
And then when the younger sister,
Yep.
when she shows
That
up,
was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
But I just think it was overutilized because then the problem with overutilizing jump scares is it gets rid of tension.
Yeah.
And that's because you've released all of that. And that's the whole point of the jump. The problem is when you're using it every few minutes,
Then it becomes
you're not
predictable.
building enough tension up to release.
And it's somewhat different from regular. Well, I wouldn't say it's a horror movie, but
Yeah, it was more of a thriller, if anything.
Yeah, 'cause
yeah.
horror movies they build up the suspense with the soundtrack and the music, and this
Which
one
it had a little bit of
a
that.
little bit, but not as much.
And it wasn't like, I don't want to go into like the kill count or anything, but
Yeah,
I'm going to say there wasn't a lot. I'll leave it at that.
I don't know. I would say I don't want to be horrible and be like, oh, more people should have died.
But I'm going to
But-
say if it's a horror film,
If it is a thriller, then you would,
thrillers, you don't have big kill counts, while horror films kind of have the bigger counts.
Yeah. I
And-
just feel like some of the people shouldn't have really made it,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't have been that happy of an ending.
Yeah, the ending is the thing I did not like the most.
Yeah, it was just kind of whatever.
Anyways,
Let's go on and be doctors. Yay.
I think that was pretty. I don't want to keep coming back to life. Please stop this. End this now. I guess I'll just talk about the next movie because I guess they're gonna make me watch it. Next time we're gonna see The Mountain Between Us. After the cancellation of their flight due to stormy weather, Dr. Ben Bass, played by Idris Elba, and photojournalist Alex Martin, played by Kate Winslet, board a charter plane. The plane crashes mid-flight and they survive the incident with injuries, but get lost in the wilderness. Maybe they'll die like I want to.
So,
I guess I'm gonna be forced to watch this one too.
well, I am too, so suck it up.
Yeah, but you're not being brought back to life every time.
You live, you die, it happens.
Okay.
Just like they might in the mountain between us, but not coming to life, they're just screwed.
Well, you got to pick this one though.
Yeah, because it might be romantic.
But we
and
could have seen
sweet.
Blade Runner.
No.
But Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's going to be romantic or not, because I know in some trailers it's portrayed that way, and then others it's not.
Yeah, like the one we saw, because they showed a trailer in front of Flatliners for it, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So that was yeah, that one didn't have a lot of romance in it.
Yeah, because I know she's getting married the next day, and in that one they did show a picture of him looking with him and a woman, so I just assume that's his wife or his mom.
But from what I've read online, the book is a survivalist romance novel, which means they probably will end up together unless they took a lot of liberties with the film.
Yeah, I mean, it's a survival instincts. You depend on the person, so it's pretty predictable.
It's a smaller film, so, I mean,
Yeah.
like budget-wise, so
Yeah.
they probably are going to rely with whatever the book says closely, unlike a lot of bigger films.
They have more room to venture out there and add on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'll enjoy this a bit more.
Yeah, definitely better than Flatliners.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on why that film was so bad, but
Yeah.
this film, I think, it will at least be interesting,
Yeah, I mean,
because that was my problem with Flatliners. It just wasn't interesting.
yeah, it was just, yay, we're dying, we're back alive, let's party. Oh, life sucks.
This one, I like survivalist type stuff because it's interesting seeing how people what people will do.
Yeah, how they get through it, and especially I like to see how they are afterwards.
Yeah.
If they do make it out.
Yeah, because you never know, like, what...
Like with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And
Castaway?
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes you never know if they're going to survive or not, so...
And it's good to see them like adapt to life after that, and I hope they show that, because not a lot of movies do. It's just back to real world. Oops.
Yep, yeah, I would give that... I think that it will be fun.
Yeah. And I hope the things they go through aren't too predictable, like wolves and...
Well, they already showed a mountain lion in the trailer.
Yeah, okay, that's predictable.
Because,
But-
I mean, that was in the trailer. Did you forget it was in the
Yeah,
trailer?
I forgot that.
It was like a cougar mountain lion type thing.
It's always wolves. Glad they changed it.
Anyways, so, yeah. Hey, Gray, you want us to redo that last take? What? No!
Why isn't he coming back?
Comedic effect. Clata, Verata, Nicto.
I'm alive again? No!
Let me die!